Just want to make it nice and clear to begin this video, Bianca Belair is not buried. I want to make that nice and clear because Bianca Belair took a loss tonight to Bayley. The match they had one-on-one, good match, nothing super special or incredible. If you missed the match, don't really need to go and see it, but Bayley cheated to beat Bianca Belair, so I'm sure as a result of that, wrestling Twitter, the wrestling community, podcasts, all that kind of stuff tonight are probably going to freak out about it. Just want to make it clear, that's not a burial, okay? That's a heel cheating to beat a babyface. Who cares? So, just want to address that. As for SmackDown tonight, this show, it was an improvement upon last week's. Last week's show, I wasn't as harsh on that show in my review as I probably should have been. That show, outside of Roman Reigns destroying Kevin Owens in that 10-minute segment they had in the middle of the show, outside of that, last week's show was just absolutely terrible. One of the worst SmackDowns really in months. So, yeah, last week's was terrible. This week, not great, but better. It was definitely better. The fact that they had Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens get so much TV time. These two guys, essentially what they did for this show, Kevin Owens came out, cut a 5 to 8 minute promo about Roman Reigns, talking about how he's not afraid of Roman, how he's going to die trying to beat Roman Reigns, how he's going to take the fight to Roman at TLC. Then Paul Heyman comes on this Titantron. Heyman says that Roman Reigns does things on his terms. Kevin Owens goes, I'm going to go get Roman Reigns. So we go to commercial with Kevin Owens rushing to Reigns' locker room. After commercial, Reigns makes his entrance. So Reigns avoids Owens. Reigns cuts a promo saying that Kevin Owens is, he's a disgrace and that his pay grade is not meant to fight on his level and all that kind of stuff. So Reigns cuts a good promo. Once again, Roman Reigns doing Roman Reigns things. You've seen it in the past 4 months. Reigns continues to just be awesome. So Reigns cuts his promo. Then Kevin Owens proceeds to storm down the aisleway. And we get this whole thing where Jey Uso, basically, the whole storyline for the night was Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, or Reigns telling Jey Uso, look, we're going to take out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens won't make it to TLC. So Reigns was doing everything in his power to just destroy Kevin Owens, which I found really good. So throughout the night, we had Jey Uso backstage assault Kevin Owens with a chair. We had Jey Uso assault Kevin Owens in the trainer's room. We had Jey Uso, beating up Kevin Owens with Roman Reigns. That's what the image you see on screen is. This was our main event little segment. So basically, Reigns came out with Jey Uso and Paul Heyman to make one final address to Kevin Owens. Owens came down, he got beat up, put through tables, had tables dumped on him, ladders, all that kind of stuff. So that was basically the Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens build for TLC. That match should be pretty good. The way they're building the story is that Kevin Owens is by far the obvious underdog in the match, but he's going to die trying to beat Roman Reigns. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that match. Hopefully, they don't have to have Jey Uso save Roman Reigns or Jimmy Uso save Roman Reigns. He's the biggest star in wrestling. He shouldn't need Jimmy or Jey Uso to help him beat Kevin Owens. But I imagine, knowing WWE booking, he probably will. So that's the whole main event. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Bloodline, Kevin Owens storyline for this week. Good build. It got about a third of the show's worth of TV time, so it was good. I enjoyed it. Now, that was that. As for this, I talked about this a little bit earlier, so I'll only breeze over it now. Bianca Belair and Bayley, good match. Bianca Belair isn't buried. It's one loss because the heel cheated. Who cares? So that's that address. As for the rest of the show, really, the rest of the show, yeah, nothing really that you need to see. The rest of the show was, the SmackDown Tag Team titles were defended by the Street Profits against Ziggler and Rude. That match was serviceable, but there wasn't really a reason to care. It wasn't a bad match. I was just not really paying attention during it, so I guess that happened. That was whatever. We had the Sammy Awards. This was, I enjoyed this because Sami Zayn, look, I want to address this with Sami Zayn. Bonafide Heat tweeted this on his account during the show. Sami Zayn, to associate him with the indie mob nowadays, I don't think is fair because Sami Zayn has transitioned from the guy in 2014 through 2018 who is literally just an indie wrestler who does all the indie moves and he literally has nothing but his moveset and the fact that he wrestled all over the world. Sami's gone from that to a guy who, in and of himself, is a good, I won't say great just yet, but definitely a good sports entertainer. He gets the entertainment side of pro wrestling. He has somewhat of a character. When he's on screen, it's not just, He worked hard and wrestled all over the world. He can have a great 5-star match whenever you want. That's not what Sami Zayn is. He's not a work rate guy anymore. He's a guy who can actually try and bring something to the table as far as entertainment. This segment, no exception. Basically, it was the heel coming out and Sami Zayn having his Sammy Awards, which is a great play on words. He gives himself the Return of the Year award over Edge and Roman Reigns. Gives himself Match of the Year, which was pretty good. And then he reads the Superstar of the Year card. Big E had tampered with it, so the Superstar of the Year was Big E. Big E came out all happy and jovial. Sami Zayn was like, what? There must be an error here. Then they start punching each other. Big E slams Sami Zayn to a table, throws him down the aisleway. So that was the Sammy Awards. I enjoyed it. As for the rest of the show, the Carmella and Sasha Banks segment was, like, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. It wasn't very good. Carmella, her entrance is really good. I like Carmella's entrance. It's actually some character. You can distinguish Carmella's entrance from everyone else's entrance. Like, you see that entrance and like, oh, that's Carmella. It's not like, oh, random generic theme song walks out like the rest of the roster, basically. It's distinctive and it's definitive, so that's good. Her promo was, it was pretty dead promo, and then Sasha Banks tried to attack her from behind. We had Carmella proceed to hit her with the champagne bottle again, so Sasha Banks is retaining a TLC, that's that. And then the rest of the show, the other thing that's probably going to cause some fake outrage in the community, Otis pinned Shinsuke Nakamura. So I guess people are still going to act shocked and appalled that Otis beat Shinsuke. Okay, like, if I wanted to fake getting offended, I would. I really don't care. I'm sure some podcasters around the community are going to act as if this is some cataclysmic, company-shifting event that Shinsuke Nakamura lost a match to Otis. Is this anything new to people? Are you people going to freak out about something? We've been here, done that, like not 100 times yet, but like well and truly into the double digits. Like, we've seen this so many times. In the past 2 years especially, Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, these type of guys lose a match to someone who they probably shouldn't be losing to, someone who doesn't have the indie track record all over the world, and as a result, there's going to be a fake outrage culture. But in reality, it's a middle of the card, random filler SmackDown match in the middle of December. Who cares? And I'm sure some people are going to say, that's a bad attitude to have, you should care, every match should matter. Look, WWE don't care. I don't really care at the moment. I can't bring myself to really make a scene about it, so yeah, that's going to be the video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to like, comment, sub. You guys know the drill. Leave down below. Did you watch SmackDown? What were your thoughts on the show? All that kind of good stuff. See ya.